Joining me now, Stewart's pal, Couri Hay, society editor for Hamptons Magazine. What'd you think of the verdict, Couri?
Well, I was disappointed because I think that Martha would have served the greater good, Alan, by doing community service. Give her a year of community service, let her go into the inner city and help young people enter the corporate world, let her help small business owners, let her help women who've lost their jobs, help empower people to succeed.
How do you think she'll deal with 5 months in prison?
Well, you know, Martha's tough. She said it herself, I'm strong, I'm not afraid. Martha's going to handle this very well.
What do you make of that statement that she's more worried about her employees than she is about herself?
Completely typical Martha. The reality is Martha gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning. She works till 10 or 11 o'clock at night. She's always worked tirelessly and, in my opinion, in many ways, selflessly. I think Martha's always been in this for the creative side. She likes being creative. She likes doing what she does. She likes cooking. She likes baking. She likes gardening. She likes to teach. And perhaps that's why the judge's sentence is fitting, because Martha likes to do what she does, and now they're going to slam the door and not let her teach America. And yet, at the same time, Alan, don't you think that Martha's teaching us a really important lesson here? How to deal with adversity, how to keep a stiff upper lip when you lose your job, when you lose your freedom.
What about the lesson of telling the truth when you're talking to federal investigators?
I think Martha's learned that one, don't you, Alan? I mean, it's cost her $300 million. She's had 2.5 years of punishment. And the reality is, I think we've all learned that lesson. It's better to tell the truth. Now, you know, she made that decision, Alan, in a split second on a tarmac. It was a bad decision. And, you know, she's got to be punished. She's got to pay the price, and she's going to.
You know, before the break, Ricky Kleeman was talking about how maybe it wasn't the best idea in the world for Martha Stewart to go to parties with Calvin Klein, to the Fahrenheit 9/11 opening night, et cetera, et cetera. What did you think about that?
I disagree completely. Hey, look, get a life, okay? Why shouldn't Martha Stewart resume her normal life? She has for months been depressed, months been despondent, months she's been crying herself to sleep and not even being able to get to sleep. Martha's suffered. This has caused her a lot of pain. Martha a lot of pain, her company a lot of pain, her mother, her daughter, her family, her friends. And why shouldn't Martha go and resume her normal life? And guess what? You out there, she's going to do the same thing now that the sentence has been handed down.
Well, what do you mean? She's not going to do it from prison. She's not going to do it from house arrest.
That's not going to happen until April. I mean, this is going to take months. This is going to take till next year.
Don't you think some contrition might help some in dealing with the sentencing judges or the appeals judges?
I think she showed it. I think she showed it. This is a shameful day. This is a shameful day for me, a shameful day for my family and my company.
She called it a personal matter that was blown all out of proportion.
I think that it was, in many ways, a personal matter, because I think what she's saying is, I lied, I made a mistake, or she said, I made a mistake, and I just wish that everyone else didn't have to pay for it. Martha can afford to lose the $300 million. Martha can afford to be out of a job. What about the 200 people that lost their job? No, I think that she showed that contrition.
Okay.
I think she was humble, and I think she's accepting her punishment with grace.
All right, Couri Hay, thank you very much for being with us on Capitol Report, as always.
Okie doke.
And coming up.
Here to talk about her sentencing and what the future holds for her is Couri Hay. He's the society columnist for Hamptons Magazine and a longtime friend of Martha Stewart. Thanks for joining us. Mr. Hay, welcome. Good to see you.
Nice to see you too, Tyler.
From your most recent conversations with Ms. Stewart, how are her spirits?
You know, her spirits are a lot better now because the big question has been answered. I saw her last Saturday night at Calvin Klein's, and, you know, despite the party atmosphere and the smiles and the love that she was being given by all the guests, there was an underlying kind of like fearful tone, I think, to her voice. And Barbara Walters cornered her on the couch and had a long talk with her. Barbara's already pitching for the interview that, of course, that we now know has been given to someone else.
You know, at this point, how do you think she will fare during the whole appeal process? You mentioned that there was that kind of cloud hanging over her, which probably not unexpected given what she was facing, but this may take a while to get this through the appeal process. Do you think that might be tougher on her? And some have suggested it has been on other people when things are pending appeal.
No.
No? Not why?
You know, because Martha likes to work. Martha is a doer. So she's in her office every single day, managing and running that magazine, making all the decisions. Martha's title may have changed to the magazine, but believe me, she's in charge. Martha loves to work. She loves to get things done. So she's eager to actually stay in the office and get things done. And now she'll have more time to do more issues of the magazine. It'll allow the Martha Stewart touch, her influence, to go over more magazines. She can decide all the covers. She can make all the big decisions before she has to go away to camp.
Yeah, Mr. Hay, Americans love heroes. They sometimes love to see heroes brought down to earth, but Americans also love forgiveness. Do you think Americans will forgive her?
Oh, frankly, I think most Americans forgave her a long time ago. I think that the reality is I'm still disappointed. What good is it to lock Martha up? Why didn't she go to Harlem? Why didn't she go into the inner city and teach women how to get into the workforce? Why didn't she help small business owners turn their businesses around and make it a success? Why isn't she helping teenagers learn how to, crawl up the corporate ladder? Why isn't she teaching? Why isn't she doing what Martha does best? I mean, folding laundry in a prison. What greater good does this do to the public?
Do you think she was a
I think it's a
scapegoat?
waste of time. I think the judge is making a big mistake.
Do you think she was a scapegoat through the whole process?
Look, Martha made a bad decision. She lied. She shouldn't have done it. She knows she shouldn't have done it. She said today, it's a shameful day for me, for my family, and for my company. She showed remorse. She said, I don't care about myself. I care about the 200 people that have lost their jobs. I care about people that are disappointed. And I think that the reality is that Martha Stewart has shown great character, great grit, great courage. And I just think it's a waste for her to be locked up when she could be doing something positive with her time. Give her 3 years of community service. Forget 3 years of probation.
But what
Put her on
about-
probation and let her serve the community.
Mr. Hay, what about those who say we're getting an awful lot of emails in from, and they go both ways. Many people are quite sympathetic to Ms. Stewart. Other people say that if they had done the same thing, they would have been, given the maximum, and that she did lie, according to the jury, and that in a way her celebrity has helped her get less of a sentence. Valid or not?
No, I actually think it's just the other way around. I think Martha Stewart became the poster girl for bad corporate behavior. She got caught in the Enron mess. And the reality is she wore a big target on her chest. And the government went after her and they got her.
Party. But, a lot of
That's
people...
not good.
Next time, maybe. But
Okay.
A lot of people say that this never would have happened to an ordinary person. If her name were Mary Jane Smith and she didn't have a thriving business that everybody knew about, she never would have been brought up on these charges. Do the people you hang out with say that they're being victimized for their success?
I think that the word overkill comes to mind. Look, Martha made a mistake, and then she lied about it, and a judge and a jury have said, you were wrong, and you're going to go to jail, and so she's going to go. But the reality is, in the inside circle, unfortunately, this kind of thing happens more than you think. I mean, it just isn't considered that big a deal on the inside, where people talk freely at cocktail parties. But, of course, what it has done, Greg, is made everyone realize that we have to take these things very seriously and that you just simply can't play fast and loose with the truth, and you have to be very careful about what you say. Martha made that decision on that tarmac in, 10, 15 seconds? Cost her $300 million, cost her 2.5 years of misery. She's going to go in and spend 5 months in prison and 5 months out. This has been a very painful process. Martha shed a lot of tears over this. A lot of sleepless nights, Greg. Not a happy day.
Based on what you saw today, though, I mean, does she realize any of that she made these mistakes? I mean,
Martha really regrets it. She once said to close friends, she said, I just wish I hadn't listened to the lawyers and just said what I thought and what I felt at the time. The lawyers all ran in and said, oh, this is a technical case. You'll never be convicted. You haven't done anything wrong. It's confusing to Martha. But what you saw today is what you really can believe. Martha she said it. It's a shameful day for me. It's a shameful day for my family and for my company. I'm sorry for the people that lost their jobs. I think she did show contrition. I think she's been humbled.
Well, she never
I think
said
she's
sorry
been
for
punished.
what she was accused of and what she was convicted
Well, don't forget,
of.
look, she's going up on an appeal, Greg. So you can't sit there and say, I lied. There's no appeal then.
Has she changed? Has she changed as a person? I mean, has she grown? Has she improved?
Absolutely. Martha improves every single day. And that's the one good thing that's come out of this. She's closer to her family. And I think she's going to be a lot more careful about, she may be tired. She may be edgy. She's not going to snap quite as quickly. She's going to be careful as she treats people because she knows everyone's looking.
You got any plans to see her soon?
I hope so. I hope so. I think she's going to take a couple weeks off in the social scene. She wore black today. I don't think that was any accident. It's kind of a day of mourning. And yet at the same time, we saw that twinkle in Martha's eye and that smile. And I think she'll go up to Maine for a couple of weeks, take it easy. But she works. She works every day, Greg. She runs that company. She makes every decision. And for those of them that say, oh, she shouldn't be, happy about this and that she should just go right to jail. No. Martha wants to run that company. She wants to plan the covers. She wants to plan the future. And with this appeal, she'll spend Christmas at home.
Okay. Maine first, right? Okay. Thank you very much. Couri, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
All right. Well, be sure to tune.
The design guru didn't stay in seclusion for long.
You think a lot of people here are surprised to see you this evening?
Oh, I think they're pleased.
In May, she attended the Daytime Emmys. Her TV show even won an award.
This is a bright spot, as you can imagine, in a very difficult time.
And as the summer rolled on, she seemed almost carefree, showing up at the CFDA Fashion Awards and a movie premiere.
She's carrying on really in public as if nothing's going on. She's going to parties, events. So there may still be a little element of denial that this lady's going to jail.
This picture of Martha rollerblading was taken recently near her home in exclusive East Hampton, New York.
She's been biking and jogging and swimming and walking.
Our Couri Hay is a society columnist for Hampton Magazine.
Martha's lost about 20 to 30 pounds in the last 6-8 weeks because she's getting ready to go to jail.